Courier really not showing any sign of letting up as he tries to win the overall rankings race in this first season of this series.
Next 2 matches for him are pretty important to keep that lead. He will play Todd Martin if he wins this match for 3rd place, so he's going to want to win both of these matches against McEnroe. McEnroe ultra competitive. Probably hurts him a little bit that he's playing for 3rd place instead of for the title, or a possibility for the title. Courier 2-1 in ATP Tour meetings and 4-0 in Champions Tour meetings. Last year was the last time they played.
On the regular tour, Courier ended John McEnroe's U.S. Open career back in 1992. He beat McEnroe in the round of 16 in straight sets. Of course, McEnroe, one of the greatest champions in U.S. Open history, a winner there 4 times, 79, 80, 81, 84.
Here's how he lost McEnroe in his first match to Wayne Ferreira in a Champions tiebreak. And then pretty comfortably over Mats Wilander. A tough second set in that match.
Yeah, that Champions tiebreak really hurt McEnroe in retrospect. If he had been able to win that, of course, he'd be playing for a spot in the championship tomorrow as well. Courier 1-1 this week. Beat Wilander in his opening match and then was beaten by Ferreira 5-2 yesterday in somewhat of a shocker.
He had beaten Ferreira in Charlotte just a couple of weeks ago on the clay. Ferreira turning the tables yesterday.
Jim Courier, over the course of his career, a 4-time winner in Grand Slams, but he made the finals of all 4 Grand Slams. He had that type of game that translated well to all surfaces. Won the Australian and the French. Got to the finals of Wimbledon in '93, finals of the U.S. Open in '91.
That was really the shocker, was the finals of Wimbledon. He wasn't very comfortable on the grass.
Did he play that All-American final on the 4th of July back in 1993? And he was beaten by Sampras in that '93 Wimbledon final. McEnroe very deliberate in taking his time, much like the guy he dresses similar to now, Rafael Nadal. Wears the pants that match Nadal.
He doesn't do the sprint back to the court, though.
His mannerisms aren't quite the same, but the amount of time he takes is very similar. So Courier serving to start. Both of these guys wearing blue tonight to kind of blend into the court. McEnroe attacking off the return.
That's the pressure that McEnroe puts on you when you miss first serves. He's one of the best I've ever seen. He was the first to not, he doesn't chip and charge, he sort of blocks it, charges. Gets to you a little bit quicker than a slice would. So it puts a premium on you making first serves when you play John McEnroe.
McEnroe won this event in Memphis on the ATP level in his debut back in 1980. Beat Jimmy Connors in the final here. Got back to the final in '82, lost to Johan Kriek. Johan Kriek definitely proved to be a nemesis of McEnroe here in Memphis, as Kriek beat him in that final in '82 and then beat him in the round of 16 here in '87. Chance to break. 30-40 in the opening game. John McEnroe getting an early break of the Courier serve. Courier, by the way, won this event Back in 1993, beat Todd Martin in the final. We showed you some highlights of that earlier. Courier got back to the final as recently as 1999 here in Memphis. Lost to Tommy Haas that year. There's some places, Jimmy, when you're on the tour that you come to and you just like, so you play better?
No, absolutely. Feel comfortable at certain places. Courier, his last ATP final, as you mentioned, was here against Tommy Haas. He lost.
McEnroe trying to consolidate the break here. Last ATP final for Courier, 1999. He retired from the tour officially in 2000, but did play the event here in 2000. Lost his opening match. Classic John McEnroe serve. Hasn't changed too much, has it?
No, what really works about his serve is that he keeps his back to you, and it's so tough to read. He doesn't show you anything. It's ultra turned as it starts and then spins through at the last minute. It's so well disguised. And it helps that he's a lefty, that he can slide it out so wide to the backhand side.
30 love, up 1 love already.
Here's a different angle of the serve. This is more like what you would see if you're playing against him almost. You see his back, and then suddenly he turns through it. What's amazing is, as well as he served throughout his career, there's not a lot of people that copied that style.
That's what I was about to say. Same thing is that you can usually see a let called there, so it'll be another first serve. Usually when a player does something at a very high level, you see other guys start to try to imitate it, but no one's been able to duplicate the McEnroe service motion.
This is not something you want to do at home if you're teaching. You're supposed to get down with your legs on those low volleys. McEnroe is able, with his great hands, to just put the racket head down and still feel that volley into the corner. A good passing shot this time, but still looks a little bit unhappy, as if to say, where was that a couple of games ago? So well indoors on this surface. The relentless attack of your second serve, and Courier has a pretty big second serve, but he's feeling the pressure. That's a little extra pressure to get your first serve in.
I guess the bottom line when we talk about all the the unorthodox ways McEnroe hits is that he's just a unique individual, almost an artist out there that can't seem to be imitated.
Well, people imitate him, they just never play like that. They imitate him joking around. And it kind of does work, by the way. I play great when I do. It just doesn't feel like I'm really playing tennis.
Game point for Courier, chance to get on the board for the first time. Courier with fist pump hold serve for the first time. For McEnroe leading by very great 2-1. McEnroe serving now at 2-1. What do you think about this matchup? McEnroe's come to play here, it looks like.
Well, he always does, you know. That's the great quality of the man. He's always giving 110%. I mean, and so is Courier, actually. Jim's not going to be happy to be down at rate.
McEnroe has struggled with Courier in the Champions Tour when they played. He's 0-4. But do you think on this surface he's got a shot?
Yes, this is a surface that doesn't bounce up. It's actually a good returning surface. And to beat John, I think he hits the ball very flat. He likes it in that hitting zone, and it's you know, on the clay or the high bouncing hard courts. I think the balls get up and there's a lot more variety, so you can trouble him a little bit, get him running. But here, it's always in the hitting zone, and he hits the ball so flat that he's tricky, really tricky. Ball does stop from time to time on this court. Particularly on a slow ball, looks like you're set up and you can really give it a good wallop, but it doesn't come through, so you have to generate your own pace, and that's often actually McEnroe's strength. He varies the pace, hits one hard one, then he just floats the ball back, and you sort of think to yourself, oh, this is nice and juicy, I should be able to smack this for a winner. And you have to make your own pace, and it gets very frustrating.
In trouble for the first time on his serve.
Oh boy, this is going to cause a ruckus.
Thought he had an ace, called out.
What do you think, guys? We're right in front of that one.
It was
worthy of
it. Was close.
It was close. Did it touch the line at all? Probably. Touched the outside edge of it. But it's a tough one. It was more out than in.
Not too much reaction there. Just getting warmed up. Larry Sloan didn't have to say a word.
Actually, there's something that's I'm struggling to figure out about you in these Champions Tour events, is that on the regular tour, you hated clay, or at least your results weren't all that impressive on the clay. You did better on fast courts, and for whatever reason this year, you've done great on the clay court events and struggled indoors.
Yeah, it's funny.
What's going on? How have you improved on clay so much, and what's happened to your indoor game?
Yeah, I can believe it. I'm not playing better on clay than I ever have, and that was only due to the end of my career that I had to sort of change my game a little bit to create a bit more power. Went and looked at the technique. Love studying the technique of the game now. And see Courier lining up, but it's just a little short, that serve, wasn't it? Not much.
Well, this seems to be a matchup of you got to get your first serve in, as this is what Courier can do to McEnroe if he gets a look at enough second serves.
And it gives Courier a chance to break here. Jim gets the right side. He knows it too. He was just about there. Still break point, 30-40.
The tricky thing about those ones is they look easy when we're on TV, but of course the player is looking up in the sky. I mean, he's not exactly 100% sure where the opponent is running. He's busy looking at the ball, is going through the lights. It's a let. John is not going to put his hand up.
No way.
It's strange.
Are you aware that it's your responsibility to call lets?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Did you not hear a let there?
But I went to sleep on it, though.
Okay, you heard one. Okay, it makes me feel better that you heard it. But we're clear. It's your responsibility to call. There's not a let person over there. Okay?
I understand.
All right.
You didn't hear that?
Yeah, he admitted he made a mistake.
Well, that's kind of weird, because why not, if it's a let, just go, okay, let. I heard it.
Fell asleep on that one. Like his honesty, but that's not helping Courier right now. 2 break points gone, and it's deuce.
One of the first times you're going to say, heard an umpire put their hand up and say, whoops, I messed up.
With nicely played baseline rally.
McEnroe bothered there. He almost chunked the racket.
Well, I think he's disappointed hitting the ball too short, just letting Courier dictate the play, and then finally what John's so good at doing is on the defensive. I mean, first of all, he's very quick, exceptionally quick, and for his age, he hasn't really slowed down much at all. But he defensively hits the ball very accurately. You have to come in and finish the point off. But in that case, he couldn't get the ball over the net. He just did a little bit too much running.
Back to break point for Courier, his 3rd chance in this game. And he gets it. Courier breaks back, and we're on serve now, 2-all.
I couldn't figure out, Ty, when I played McEnroe and throw it, whether he was that quick or he just anticipates really well, or do you think it's a combination?
I think it's both. I'll tell you what, he moves a little bit like Andre Agassi in the fact that if you watch Mac, he's not in the air much. A lot of the young players, and we've been taught when we start off the jump, get up on your toes. The more you're in the air, the less you can move. And John keeps himself on the ground and he's very quick off the mark. And Agassi learned to do that, particularly towards the end of his career.
Won 2 games in a row to start this match, 2-all. Pat, you said you like to study the technique of the game. What about some pretty unusual technique out here with these guys, the way they hit the ball?
It is, but they do the basics very, very well, and that is the contact point. I mean, I love watching John McEnroe play for a couple of reasons. And oh yes, there you go. Simplicity is one, but if we can look from the side of the court, and you probably can't so much here on TV, but the contact point he hits is almost level to his body. He doesn't hit the ball too far out in front. His balance is unbelievably good. And it's the same probably for all these guys that are on the Champions Tour.
It's a lot of that contact point is dependent on your grips. And McEnroe has such a weak grip that he's got to hit the ball almost a little later than other guys that have a little bit stronger grips.
He doesn't change his grip for any damn shot. Can you believe that?
That is amazing.
That is unbelievable. He doesn't change his grip for anything, and he uses his wrist. And there's only a couple of players that I know. The other player is Henri Lefebvre.
It's on that side. How far wide does that have to be? Is that enough? What's so funny? I'm just wondering what's so funny that you missed a call and they missed it. Is that funny? So what are you laughing about? I'm just curious. That I had the nerve to question a ball that was out on 15-30 point? I'm sorry, I didn't hear an answer. Just couldn't see it. Say you didn't see it, okay? Then maybe I could believe. Say you just didn't see it. You're clueless. You have no idea what you're doing. Anything.
And to be honest, I think the ball was on the line. It was a very quick serve, so it's hard to pick up.
I think that's irrelevant to the whole argument of whether the ball is actually in or not, for as far as McEnroe's concerned.
Goes down as an ace for Courier. This is what Courier told us earlier tonight. He sort of likes playing McEnroe because he knows he has to be so mentally focused. doesn't have an option because of these type things that happen.
Courier already showing you how tough he is mentally in these first few games with the left call that they missed on break point, where he had to then get back to deuce, and now after a long argument he calmly walks the line and makes a big first serve.
Game point Courier. Courier has not led in this match. Chance to do that right here. Not yet, instead it's deuce.
That's a great one. If you could replay on from the side, you see how late John hit the ball and such minimal backswing. And if we can, viewers just like to watch John moving around and watch how little effort he puts into his shots. That's one of the reasons you can still play competitively out here at his age of 65, what it is.
He's the only guy I've seen, you're a guy that also like to come in and attack a little bit on second serves, but everyone else, including you, put a little slice, it seems, for safety, a little chip in charge, and he sort of blocks it flat.
So flat. It's so flat. You can just about see the brand name on the ball coming out.
Some of this balance you're talking about, Pat.
Watch his feet. I mean, he's always near the ground. Just little hops here and there, but it's the contact points, the balance, his upper body. All these guys, actually, their upper body balance is so incredible. Their legs can be all over the place, but if you just look at their head and their up and their body and say, well, they could be hitting anything. They could just be warming up. That was a big second serve, wasn't it? He knows he's in trouble. And John's looking to attack it.
Courier hasn't had too much trouble winning the deuce points in this game. It's this next one he hasn't been able to pull off yet. And we'll go back to deuce. Of course, we're joined by one of the great Aussie champions over the years. Here's some of the other ones. It's a pretty nice list to be included on there, Pat.
Yeah, they were mugs.
You did have a chance at maybe 3, I think, that you feel, at 2 Australian Open finals.
Pretty close to
Close matches.
Used to those Swedes, Edberg in the first one.
Both 5-setters, right?
Yeah. And Bill end of the year, he won 3 out of 4. Now that's the one I'm talking about. It's the one that John floats back, and you have to generate your own pace. And there you see Jim. I know exactly how he feels, because it just drives me insane that John can float the ball back. And
you almost got to have patience not to try to go for too much.
Yes, that is very, very true.
It's just hard to do. You see it sitting there.
Great point, McEnroe.
Is that the fence I'm talking about? Defensive work. McEnroe. He was out of that point 3 or 4 times and just kept scraping the ball back, didn't he?
Got it in pretty good spots. Courier couldn't quite take advantage, and then
just out. Wow.
Oh, he thinks it's in. I don't think he's going to realize it wasn't. It's good serve. That's the weaker side of McEnroe's returns. Very rarely misses a first serve hard to his backhand.
us right now, and he kept us entertained today against Todd Martin. He put on quite a show out there, Pat.
Well, I try to have a bit of fun. That was for you, Arias. I heard you yelling up here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I was saying good things about you till you did this. once we went with the total posing thing, I couldn't quite let it go.
Well, that was when I broke the ball.
That was unbelievable. What was that? Was that a trick ball that you had in your pocket? I mean, that's impossible. I've never seen that happen before.
I've been having problems with the balls here. There, I think I just put my big effort into it.
Obviously,
the ball.
That was unbelievable. Exploded.
I never saw the ball after that, though. Where'd it go?
I think one of the kids grabbed it.
Okay.
We signed it for him. There's some fantastic kids around here. They've been really enjoying the tennis, which is nice to see. The youngsters coming and learning something from us.
Speaking of kids, Pat, you told us your son is playing at the University of Florida now. What is it?
He is.
The Grand Slam champions in the University of Florida. You know his son plays basketball there.
Yeah, can you imagine that? It's I just been on the phone to him. He's playing a couple of warm-up practice matches against other colleges. It's very exciting. He wanted to go to college. He realised how tough it is on the circuit, and he needed a few more years of tough tennis. So he's ended up being a gator. It's a bit of a change for him, I think. He's Norwegian, so he did most of his schooling in quiet Oslo, and then came to the Gold Coast and did sort of distance education, and went to my tennis academies. And all of a sudden now he's in the thick of it down there. I went to the football game. He said, could not believe the atmosphere. So I had no idea what was going on. But
so what year is he down there?
He's a freshman.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the older kids. He's had a year, 6 months on the circuit, playing club matches in Europe.
And they're looking for a call, didn't come.
Because it hit the line.
Big forehands from Courier. Big forehand.
And there we go again.
Is it going too fast? Is that the problem?
I'm not getting it. I tell you what, I've tried to get a
Maybe you
reaction.
could give me 1 in 3, 4 matches. You know, those close ones. Maybe give me one. Maybe 1 for 10.
Static reaction of the umpires. They won't certainly respond even.
He's even yelling at ones that had nothing to do with the last call. He goes to the baselines, but hey, how about give me one?
He's buying a little extra time here in between the points. Saw you do that against Todd Martin, Jimmy. You were pretty tired. You kept that little show going.
No, that is true. I guess you just do it in a different way. I bounce the ball off my foot and say, oh, sorry, as it rolls away, and the ball kids have to go get it.
That old trick.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Game point for McEnroe.
Just can't do it too many times. That's the problem.
Trying to get to 3-all here.
Another thing to watch with McEnroe in the serve is how his body goes down. It's slightly different than Courier. See it here, he gets around, and then he goes down.
That wouldn't be really recommended. Would it to pull your body down like that?
Well, yes, I think so. I mean, I think you see this massive forehand from Courier, the inside out. That's what he's famous for. Developed that as a youngster, sort of protecting his backhand, running around, hitting the forehand, and
he can do it from closer into his body than anyone I've ever seen. Courier. You think you have him jammed, you think he's not gotten all the way around it, and yet he's still able to fire off a ball with some power.
Really very quick racket speed. Oh, there it is again. Umpire moved quickly all the way.
We thought about it a few times earlier. Finally throws it into the fence back there.
He's a little frustrated because he's had some chances here. He was up a break. He had some chances to break in the last game now from 40-15. Suddenly back to deuce, and it was more than he could handle.
Ooh. Love the reaction of the fans in the crowd there. I think they're going to duck.
Oh, he didn't have a ton of... You have to be pretty precise with that throw.
Too easy.
Caught a riser there and taking someone out.
That's out.
This is the volley, and now break point for Courier.
Okay, just an awkward one, just a little high, a little wide to get a lot of control. You sort of hit it in that area and hope a little bit. A couple of great points and a bit of luck from Courier's set up break point. Nice again, so nice twice this game, one spot.
McEnroe might be a little on edge this week. He's got to go back to the ATP level. I think it's next week he goes to Stockholm and plays in the Swedish Open with Jonas Bjorkman. Of course, he won his 78th career doubles title earlier this year in San Jose with Bjorkman.
Still coming down. But full credit to backstops don't show marks, Jim.
Here's a big return. McEnroe took it so early that it really forced Courier out of position and hitting a one-handed backhand that sailed on him.
Game point McEnroe.
Look good! Look good!
That's her called out.
Jim's going to really try and take advantage of the second serve. This is where he can get commanding position in the point.
McEnroe's lost his temper a couple of times, but in Charlotte he really went crazy against Todd Martin. These two almost came to blows in this long match. McEnroe needed to win it in straight sets to get to the final. He was fired up. And he ended up losing the second set. And he did win the overall match in a champion's tiebreak, but this was at the end of the second set when he knew that his chances at reaching the final were done. He was a basket case that night in
He
Charlotte.
had quadruple match point in that second set to win it in straights and be in the final.
That's highly annoying, isn't it? Get so close.
It's funny as he seems to struggle against you, Pat. You're the one who beat him in that round robin.
There's a secret to it.
Well, why don't you tell the rest of us?
That is one heck of a shot. Again, the defensive stuff I'm talking about. He's just so accurate when he's barely able to reach the ball. That was a good shot. But this was just exceptional. Look at that, just a flick of the wrist. And the secret is exactly what Jim did then. Is when he's on the run, you've got to come in. A lot of the guys don't do that. They're a bit too old and slow these days to get near that net.
So you almost sneak it. You hit a good shot, wait for a second. If you haven't stretched,
we'll get in as quickly as you can.
It's not going to help me much, unfortunately.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. It's as we've seen, he's so good at defensively. He can get the ball back deep, get himself back into the point. Not much fun for running around all day to get in and attack.
Courier trying to stay in front. As he's gotten back into this first set, McEnroe jumped out to an early 2-love lead.
Called in, or else McEnroe wouldn't be calmly.
I don't think he realizes that.
30 all.
That was called in.
They always had their arm out.
And then changed it. He was just making sure. Just in case.
Break point for McEnroe.
The depth on his returns, it's quite something. It's
pretty good serve, and it's just blocked it beautifully. enough.
No. And McEnroe breaks again. So John McEnroe is taking back control of the opening set. We'll see if he can hang on to it here. He leads 4-3. John McEnroe up a break now again in this first set. He's 0-4 against Jim Courier in the Outback Champions Series. Trying to pick up his first win against Courier. He leads 4-3 now. Joined by Pat Cash up here in the booth with us, and you, Courier, McEnroe, all big time into music. How do you like this city of Memphis? You guys have a lot of music options here.
Been having a lot of fun actually. We popped down the first night just to have a look at Beale Street, and popped into B.B. King's place. I saw a bit of a blues legend. We just lucked out. I was like, wow. And yeah, then last night I was hanging out with the bums down at in the square there. I missed the gig that I wanted to see. There was a great band playing outside. Me and my drunk mates were having some fun. Well, right on the line, skidded through. Tough one for Courier to handle. No chance, really. Again, that's the inside-out forehand. One of your favorites, one too, eh, Jimmy?
I wish I could do it as well as he does.
I don't know about that.
McEnroe trying to find another gear here. 40 love. And remember, the winner of this will play Todd Martin tomorrow for third place. The loser is done. And McEnroe holds it love to move ahead 5-3. And how about the final we've got tomorrow, Pat? Magnus Larsson, Wayne Ferrer. I don't think too many people coming in this week would have picked those two to make the championship, at least not got people that aren't players.
Well, Ferreira, yes. I mean, he's been playing some good tennis. He just hasn't quite notched up a final appearance yet. But Magnus Larsson is a bit of a surprise. He did play in the ATP Senior Circuit a few weeks ago, but he hasn't played much. And he's such a dangerous player. He's so tall. He's got a massive serve, and he just swings. He's hit so many winners this week. I think it's taken everybody by surprise, and he's won 3 straight sets matches.
He's also got a strange little block a few balls with no pace, suddenly rip a forehand thing going.
And the Swedes, of course, they spent a lot of time indoors growing up. For obvious reasons with the weather and far along. And so they like the indoor conditions. So there's a lot of the Europeans have got, like Peter Korda, for instance, Czech player, just brilliant indoor player.
Point for Courier. And Courier holds it love to stay in the set. But we want to thank Pat Cash for spending time with us.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy it. And good luck to your son down in Florida.
Cheers, yeah.
Todd Martin won.
Good start.
First serve so important for McEnroe, especially in this game. He's served well so far to get this 30-love lead.
that ball dip down into the court, but it was called out.
Saw that clearly, Mom? I'm sorry, is that a nod yes, or are you just asleep still?
That's a yes.
Again, this ball's dropping, dips right at the end, and McEnroe thought it dipped in. Linesman and umpires say nope, it was out, and it was right in front of the umpire. So the double fault gives Courier his first point here, 30-15. So John McEnroe, that's set point now. So McEnroe takes the opening set, but can he take the match? He hasn't beaten Courier yet on this series. We're in Memphis, Tennessee for the Outback Champions Series event, the Stanford Championships. McEnroe wins the opening set. Welcome in John McEnroe, winning the first set. A good win after early leads slipped away there, John, to get back on track.
Well, I had the good start, and you know, I could have held on, but I felt good about it because I got the break back, had some chances, and you know, he hits the ball hard, so I just got to try to take it early and, you know, put some pressure on it.
You've lost to him 4 times now in the Champions Tour, John, and today you've won the first set. What are you doing differently? Anything, or are you just playing better?
I've had a lot of success against him. I'm not sure where you get those stats from. But,
that was what we had in our notes. Is that not right?
Well, I don't recall playing him that often, but you know, I've beaten him and lost to him, and we've played a lot of exos. I've had pretty good success. We've got to revisit those, but I just don't believe that's true, man.
I'll trust you on that. Anything you got to do in this set, or you feel the same stuff?
Well, I know he's going to try to pick it up, and you know, I got to just play a little bit more consistent. You know, if I play, get some more first serves, and then if I can hold a little easier, then maybe I can get through this.
All right, John. Thanks a lot. So John McEnroe, oh boy, you just never know what to expect.
I don't think he enjoys those mid-set, mid-match interviews.
He hasn't quite gotten down the whole entertainment versus competitiveness. He pretty much has one frame of mind, and that is win, 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 play, play, play as hard as I can. I can't really separate the two, it seems like. So Jim Courier with a little mountain to climb here. McEnroe winning the first set, first point of the second coming your way. Matt Spielander had an interesting quote about John McEnroe. Jimmy, I wanted to get your reaction on it. He was asked to rate the top 5 greatest tennis players of all time. He said Federer, Sampras, Agassi, and Borg were the top 4. And then he had 3 players tying for 5th. Connors, Lindell, and McEnroe. And about McEnroe, he said he had the maximum potential among everyone I'm talking about, but couldn't fulfill it. I'm sure he must have kicked himself quite a few times for not developing into the greatest of all time. He believed in improving by playing matches, and that's why he played a lot of doubles along with singles, but he ignored practice. Had he worked on his game and fitness like normal top pros, the sky would have been the limit for McEnroe.
That is pretty interesting, and I guess there is a little bit of truth to that, as he's worked harder now on his fitness than he did when he played on the tour.
Of course, Roger Federer joined McEnroe and Lindell earlier this year in becoming The only 3 guys to have won 3 straight U.S. Opens.
I believe McEnroe still has the best year ever, percentage of winning wise, in 1984. Federer was close to breaking it last year. He lost that final. He was going to tie it, I think, if he won the Masters.
It was 82-3. McEnroe win in 1984, and Roger Federer went into the Tennis Masters Cup Championship last year 81-3, and lost to Nalbandian, so he couldn't tie McEnroe. So that record is safe for a while. But only another great champion like Wielander, I think, could make a statement like that and have the credibility to back it up. Complaining about not getting any calls on that baseline. He finally got one here.
He said, "Can you give me one?" Well, he just got it.
When the ball skips, that means it's on the line. Don't point. I saw it, you saw it. When the ball skips, it's on the line. There's paint, there's court. Okay?
What a tough break for Courier, because it gives McEnroe a break point here in the very first game of the second set.
It's tough now for Courier. Very frustrated the way the end of that first set went, and now a huge call at 30-all. Facing a second serve, and this one's still bothering him. It's the fact that he brought it up means this one's still on his mind. And you can see how it affected his game a little bit.
So Courier is broken to start the second set. And we'll see if McEnroe can hang on to this break. Remember, when we started the match, McEnroe jumped up 2-love, and Courier climbed back into the set before eventually losing it. If you go through undefeated and win the title, you take home $48,000. One of our players tomorrow will do that, either Wayne Ferreira or Magnus Larsson, as they both come into the Mars Championship 3-0.
So they're going to get the maximum. The runner-up will also get the $32,000 with one loss.
McEnroe serving 1-love second set. He won the first set 6-4.
It's funny, it seems like not a big deal. Up a set and a break, first point of the game, but McEnroe knows he needs to keep the pressure on. He's got the upper hand right now.
Exchange there with a fan. Everybody's feeling the assault from McEnroe.
No one's safe. Funny, he's feeling the pressure right now about keeping this break lead, closing out the match. Might be thinking about the fact that I said he was 0-4 against Courier. It's a huge gift from Courier. What is that movie?
I don't know.
He's done that a few times. I don't know if it's
maybe in some foreign country that means something bad, and we don't know about it yet.
I think he's trying to figure out where his racket is on the backswing of his serve. That's what I'm going to go with.
Which is very opposite you and me. Normally you're the one coming up
That's
with
true.
The conspiracy theory. McEnroe up 30-15. Courier talking to himself over there. And McEnroe gets to 40-15.
First
net?
serve. Yes.
How come you said game before you said net?
I did not say game.
You didn't?
No, sir.
We'll be able to know that. Instead of a game McEnroe, a let was called. And is this a first serve here?
Yeah, it should be. It was a first serve when it was a let. What started the controversy. Let's see if we can hear what happened. I think he may have said game there. Yeah, I couldn't tell exactly what that. I wasn't speaking English, the umpire. I heard something, but I don't know if it was game or let.
McEnroe's lost the ensuing point. And now trying not to lose his mind over this.
He's on the verge of snapping. This is actually, as far as this match goes, a huge point right now. Because if it gets back to deuce, McEnroe thinks he had won the game. He might not be able to handle it.
So here we are at deuce now. John McEnroe and Jim Courier competing in the final match of the night. Stanford Championships inside the Racket Club of Memphis in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm Sam Gore along with Jimmy Arias. The winner here will take on Todd Martin in the third place match tomorrow afternoon. McEnroe thought he had won the game when he was up 40-15. A let called. And McEnroe hasn't won a point since. Break point Courier. Surprisingly calm about the whole thing, as normally he would explode after feeling like he got not only ripped off, but that the umpire actually lied to him because he believes the umpire said game. So instead of Courier being down love 2 now, it's 1-all. And I think McEnroe was on the verge of having this crowd turn against him.
This is one of the few times that McEnroe's argued where I actually think he's right.
Of course you lied, okay? You lied. You said game. You didn't need here 11. That ball was, 8, 12, 10 inches long. 8, 10 inches long. You can't see that.
Saw the ball good.
Can't he? I mean, because I lose my concentration because you make a call. It's like, it can't be just because he hit a good shot. I mean, he gets an extra 8, 10 inches on his serve now. In addition to that over there with the game, someone over there called a let for you. You didn't call a let, you called the game for me. You lied and said you said let. Let's go to the replay and see what you said.
Let's play.
No, I want you to, that's all 10 inches long. Maybe 10 inches long.
Time.
Time for what? You to make a call?
Time for you to play. Time violation.
He's got a time violation. Next time it's going to be a point.
Something tells me you didn't see that good. It was literally 8, 10 inches long.
After all that, 15 love.
Hasn't won a point, by the way, McEnroe, since that call.
He was up 40-15 in that last game. Well, that should be a point.
He's giving him a let warn all of a sudden.
He's got a mulligan. Now, this changeover should be pretty interesting.
Can we interview him now?
You go give him the headset. Game Courier. Courier was down a break. He's rallied to take the lead.
Serve and the forehand serve. Wasn't the most fun match, to say the least.
McEnroe serving here at 1-2, second set. He won the first 6-4. And the guy that beat you in the last match, Larson, will play in the championship. The winner of this plays in the third place match against Todd Martin. And we knew it'd be intense, and it certainly has lived up to that.
Yeah, McEnroe, Courier, it's a good battle. They're both playing excellent tennis today, and it's fun for the fans, that's for sure. McEnroe's playing very well, and he's certainly entertaining.
What do you think in the match as it goes on now? McEnroe had a set, a break, lost it with a controversial call where he's claiming the umpire lied to him. Think he's going to lose it now, or do you think he's got a chance to still keep it together?
Someone at the stands.
He's not going to keep it together with this umpire. He definitely he's on Mac's bad list, but he still has that ability to turn it on. But lately, when things go bad, sometimes he plays worse.
He used to be able to freak out, but actually play better after a big argument. It seems like that's not the case as often.
Can I make a request that we just call our own lines? Is that possible? You all leave. Can we call our own lines?
I'm not sure.
I don't think we do much. I'd rather play that way. Can we play that way?
No.
How much would that cost me? How much could I offer you for everyone to leave?
It should be kind of interesting to see how Mac actually
he does call the lines.
I want to see what his price
first of all,
is.
No money? No money in the world would get you to leave there, huh?
Courier said I'll match whatever he offers for you to stay.
Yeah.
Let's get some credibility. We got to get some credibility here. And we're losing it because you can't see a line. You can't see anything. We can't afford the system.
Courier certainly has picked it up since that controversial call from a game ago. He seems to have relaxed a little bit. 10 of the last 11 points have gone his way.
Since the argument, Max really fallen apart in some ways.
Oh, come on, that was only 8 inches long. How come I don't get that call?
He's gone. I mean,
That was
this is,
inside what he's serving.
he's admitting it's
Why do I
8
get a
inches
call
long.
like
He's
that?
still freaking out.
What's the
That was
argument?
only 6, 8 inches long.
The argument was 3 or 4 points ago. He hit a serve that modifies that call.
So he's had 2 warnings of different sorts.
He's had 2
warnings.
warnings without a point
One
somehow.
was a verbal abuse, and the other was a time violation.
Great shot from Courier there.
With that leeway, McEnroe may want that umpire to stay in the chair for all of his matches. He's going to give him a warning for every category of offense.
I guess if he breaks his racket, he'll give him a racket abuse. He can just do a different offense.
Yeah, right.
It'll be okay.
Break point for Courier. Courier breaks.
Get him out of here a little cheaply with just $500.
Aren't you glad you came up here, Aaron?
I think one of those guys should take it.
Yeah. Win the money up front.
I think so.
Maybe the guy wants to make sure he works in Houston. Aaron, aside from all the antics and stuff we're going through, what do you think about this Memphis, this racket club of Memphis? Because you now are the director of tennis of a facility down in Florida. Just from the facility standpoint, what do you think about this place?
I think it's a great facility. You know, they hold the ATP tournament. They've held it for many years. I've played here 7 or 8 times. I think it's a great venue for the Champions Tour as well. You know, Jim told me, you know, there's going to be an event in Memphis. I was excited. You know, it's a great court. Obviously, we'd like to have a few more people in the stands. I think they got a 3-year contract, so it's going to take a few years to grow. But I think this can be a mainstay for our tour.
Does the fact that you run a club now make you look at things a little differently when you come into a situation like this than maybe just a guy who's just playing, doesn't have any management responsibility?
Yeah, definitely. That's a great shot from McEnroe there on the passing shot. But no doubt, I certainly got a lot of respect and admiration for any teaching pro now, as I spend a lot of time on the court. So, you know, when I see guys at clubs like this grinding 20 to 45 hours a week, it's not easy. But you know, it's a big operation to run a club like this. So, even though this is quite a bit different than my facility, I'm at a country club in Boca, so a little bit different. But, a lot of similarities as well.
Truth be told, you don't actually teach a lot of lessons, don't you? Just practice 6-7 hours a day with good players in both
You
areas.
always say that, Jimmy.
That's what I believe.
No. I'm on the court probably 20, 25 hours a week teaching.
Okay.
And unfortunately,
Teaching
I don't get
Spadia.
No.
A little work with Grosjean.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start, I think, playing a little bit more with some of those guys.
Are you finding it a little more? They're bringing new talent here into the Champions Tour, and it seems like it's getting a little more difficult. A year ago, you were someone that was making semis, finals, maybe. You're finding it that you're playing not quite as well, or guys are just playing better?
I think, I'm still playing well. I think, having the injuries, that doesn't help. I actually thought, I was feeling good about how I've been staying away from the injury bug on this tour as opposed to the real tour, and then this week I kind of got it, which wasn't good. But
we'll have more Larry Bixby when we come back. John McEnroe breaks back. This has definitely been quite a battle between these two warriors, John McEnroe and Jim Courier. Just gave us our 7th break of this match between he and Jim Courier. But Aaron, I want you to go ahead and finish answering that question Jimmy asked you about the new young guys on the tour now.
yeah, definitely. I mean, Charlotte, Wayne Ferrer stepped up. That was his first event. Now we got Magnus Larsson playing his first event this week, and
Sergi Bruguera was there last week.
that's right. So a lot of young guys in their mid-30s. McEnroe's arguing again.
He can't because Courier's given it to him.
Courier's giving him the point.
I think it was just because he didn't want to wait for a 20-minute argument again. Let's get on with it.
He's feeling good. He wants to stay in the groove.
They are calling their own lines now.
I guess so. McEnroe would have called it in. He's not arguing. You would think, Aaron, that maybe you mellow a little bit with age.
I think John's gone the other way.
I think so, too.
John is so intense and competitive still. It's unbelievable. Even at his 47-year-old age, he plays so well. And I think if it was any other way, he would put down his rackets. He just couldn't. If he didn't care anymore, when that day comes, I think will be the day we don't see him on the court. He loves to win. He loves to compete. If he doesn't have that fiery attitude, he won't play.
McEnroe's a guy that's won a doubles title in 4 different decades. He's going to play next week in Sweden with Jonas Bjorkman on the ATP Tour. They won San Jose earlier this year. It's just an unbelievable career of longevity.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Next week is going to have a stronger field than San Jose, but McEnroe still volleys just as well as anybody, and he's certainly picked a great partner in Bjorkman, so it'll be interesting to see how they do.
I think the question mark really for me when he was playing in the regular tour was, would he be able to return today's big servers? And obviously the answer was yes, at least in San Jose.
Nope. Point for McEnroe now, 40-30. Tries to level the score, and again, 78th career doubles title for McEnroe in San Jose. Oldest titleist in the Open era. 47 years, 3 days old. He's now tied with Tom Ocker for the second highest number of doubles titles in history. Todd Woodbridge holds the record. And McEnroe holds serve. So this match with 7 breaks. It's been back and forth, up and down. And we are even now through the first 6 games of the second set.
How tough do you think it is, Aaron, playing someone like McEnroe? And the match gets so disjointed. This second set has been one long argument.
Yeah, it's certainly not easy. You just got to try and stay focused, keep your concentration. I mean, I think everyone on this tour, anybody who plays John McEnroe, knows going into the match that he's gonna blow up at some point. It's just a matter of how much and what the score is in the match. Obviously, if you're beating him, he's probably going to have a few more arguments, and you just got to deal with it the best you can. Take your time, take a few deep breaths, and enjoy it to a certain degree.
New balls now for Courier to serve with. Courier get caught up a little bit on the line or on the court. Seemed to have lost his footing a little bit here.
He was a little bit fooled, first of all, by the lob. He didn't see it coming, but not sure what happened.
Looked like he kind of stuck in the court there. He might have got caught right on a seam, maybe.
All of a sudden, Courier had this second set. It seemed as though it was over, and I think he lost concentration a little.
We've actually played a whole game with no arguments. I think Max got his concentration. He's certainly hitting the ball well enough to win here. This is a big point.
We had a big confrontation with Todd Martin in Charlotte. If he wins this, he'll get another shot at Martin.
Great second serve for Courier, and McEnroe fought it off, realized he'd hit it in a pretty difficult spot, snuck in. Forced that error out of Courier, and all of a sudden he's in serious trouble late in the second set.
Triple break point. 8th chance for McEnroe. He's converted on 4 occasions so far.
Ooh. He's getting all kinds of calls all of a sudden.
That could have been
on the line. What's he arguing about? He got the call.
It's actually a great defensive play from Courier there. I thought Mac was in good position to win that one.
He was.
Aaron, I know you're going to leave us at the end of this game, but real quickly, did Jimmy ask you for a fish when you were doing the fish business and you wouldn't give him one? You said he couldn't afford you? Because he told me that. Is that true?
No.
That's true.
I gave you a deal, didn't I?
No, you said forget it. It's too expensive. You're too cheap. You can't have one. It takes me hours to catch those fish.
I would have given you Nemo.
Could have got me a local goldfish.
20 bucks.
Told me it was something exotic.
Courier trying to climb back in this game. 30-40. Still break point for McEnroe.
You still want to fish, Jimmy. We'll work out a deal after.
So McEnroe has put himself in position now to try to run this out. We want to thank Aaron Kirkstein for stopping by. They're your wife and daughter here, so we'll let you get away. Thanks very much.
Courier has the ability, I think, to raise his game at big moments. That's something he's done his entire career. And this is a dangerous time for McEnroe in this match, judging by the way he played that point. I think it's going to take some great tennis for McEnroe to hold serve here and close out this match. Courier has given him quite a few unforced errors to work off of today, especially on the backhand side.
Hasn't been as consistent as we're used to seeing him. A lot of unforced errors from Courier. Confirmation of that 30. And there's one from McEnroe. So a little hope here for Courier. Again, just one break separates them. If Courier can break here, we'd be right back on serve. Return was going to sail out, but he had some weird spin on it. It came down in the court.
It was a shanked return.
That was just an extended run. That wasn't even blended on this shot. Okay.
And then Mac had to dig up that pretty tough half volley.
So now 30 all. Courier's still looking for that chance to break to get back on serve.
Oh yeah, beautiful close and anticipation by McEnroe. His serve, I think the rhythm's a little bit off on the serve, so that one didn't have as much on it. It was a good low return. And Mac just in total control of those volleys.
Game point McEnroe. A little too artistic there. Trying to create too much.
He was put in a tough position by a great return of serve. That was a good serve out wide by McEnroe. Courier diced it beautifully with some great angle. Too far in front of a couple of those backhands, and that's what happened on that passing shot. Pat Cash was talking about the hitting zone. Take a look at this. Had to reach for it because he just so far in front. Ball didn't get to him.
Back to game point. McEnroe's not giving her any slack for that.
Well, she should have yelled out to go along with the hand gesture.
So McEnroe holds. Well, that was a big game for him.
And that wasn't a great second serve right into the wheelhouse of Courier. Courier parked it into the middle of the net. Has not been his best ever.
So no more room for error for Courier. He's got to hold. Or the night and the tournament is over for him.
Wow. alternated unforced errors with some brilliant shots, especially inside-out forehands. That time he got the job done with a nice backhand down the line.
McEnroe wanted to call it out.
Don't give him shots like that. Come on, I'm playing too hard. That means he's a winner, that's okay, but come on. That ball's that far wide.
What's more amazing is that the linesman actually his first
come
move
on.
was out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
He didn't see it
What are
because
you
it was
looking at
behind
me
him.
for? You can't see a ball that's that far. How far does it have to be out? This far? That wouldn't work there either.
There's another look down the line. Hard to tell, but that linesman's first call was wide and then changed it to good.
You go back and look at the replay. You tell me, okay? You tell me you're wrong tomorrow? Yeah! Yeah, sure you are. 15-30, right? 15.
Response earlier when he got into those heated battles, it really threw him off his game, but he holds it together here.
Particularly well on the backhand side, but he has had some nice touch. He's hit some beautiful defensive lobs, and this is the second time he's hit a great little chip angle.
And now Courier in trouble here. McEnroe is 2 points away from closing this out. He's looking for match point. And instead, game point Courier.
Flip the lights, which would take from your concentration a little bit. McEnroe did a good job not letting it bother him.
You have to play that too, right?
No, I think you lose the point. I think you lose the point if you hit the lights. Because otherwise, if you're in trouble, you just launch one into the ceiling every time.
So a match point now coming for John McEnroe. And a chance to wrap up playing Todd Martin in that third place match tomorrow.
Second serve. This is a real chance for McEnroe. Be surprised if he doesn't try to get to net. Put the pressure on.
John McEnroe will be playing tomorrow. Jim Courier will not. McEnroe with a straight set win. over two-time Outback Series champ Tim Courier. Wayne Bryan standing by with the winner, John McEnroe.
Well, John, that was some intense match, well played by both players. Electric out of here.
Well, it was. You know, we have a lot of close matches, and somebody yelled at me over there, "You're up a set in a break. Come on." I said, "Are you crazy? I'm playing Courier." And, you know, I can't let up for a second. The guy's won 4 Grand Slams. He's been my teammate on Davis Cup. I know how hard he plays, and you know, I never felt like it was over. I got up early. He came back. You know, it was back and forth. And second set, I had the run. Then I lost it again, but. You know, I felt like I returned well today. So.
You did. Well played. Tomorrow you're playing Todd Martin for 3rd place at 1 o'clock. Your thoughts about playing Todd?
Well, it's disappointing not to be in the finals. I felt like I played well all 3 matches, and I was close to beating Wayne the first day, but I came up short. So I got to go out there for the pride. And Todd's tough. You know, he's beaten me. I finally got him. You know, we played. This is the 4th tournament in a row we played. He's 2-1 up. So hopefully I can even the score. But you know, he uses that height great. He hits a great ball, so it's going to be tough.
Well, what a busy month for you. Charlotte last week. Here you are in Memphis. You're going to play on the regular ATP tour with Jonas in Stockholm, and then you go to Dubai, and you'll be joining Bjorn Borg. It's kind of like you're back on the circuit 4 straight weeks.
Well, no, I had about 10 days off after Charlotte, which I needed to adjust to this surface, and I think this is going to get me ready, get pumped up for the doubles. It's going to be tough. I know there's people chomping at the bit to play me, but I'm ready for them also.
Now, how are you enjoying the fans here in Memphis? They got great barbecue. They got great music. You enjoying your week here?
Those Outback ribs are really good, and people here, they love their tennis. So thanks for coming out and supporting us. They do a great job supporting the tournament here, and thanks a lot.
Well, good luck to John McEnroe in the finals. Back up to you, Jimmy and Sam.
All right, thanks a lot, Wayne. So McEnroe, first response is disappointed to be playing in the final, not to be playing in the final. So it's been a great day here in Memphis. McEnroe, winner over straight sets. We'll be back in a moment to wrap things up.